If you become a sports star, money's gonna run after you. You've probably heard of this in different variations, but having money is a whole different thing from having so much money that you start making deals with billions. And that is also for your entire lifetime. Yeah, you heard that right. And Stephen Curry is winning the money game. In this video, let's talk about how he's about to sign a $1 billion lifetime contract. First of all, Curry the dough maker. Yes, you heard that right. That is indeed a B. Stephen Curry is a business mogul. From television shows to cryptocurrency, the Warrior star has garnered a fortune that now nears around $160 million, according to CelebrityNetWorth.com. You'd think that's a lot of money in itself, but oh boy, is that going to be a huge underestimate when Curry and Under Armour get together to form a deal. According to Matt Sullivan from Rolling Stone magazine, apparently they've nearly locked on a lifetime deal that'd be worth more than $1 billion. Our eyes were huge shocked orbs when we learned about the B word, but now that they've added more than to it, we're just in awe. Are you also wondering how that's even possible? Well, Curry joined Under Armour in 2013 and landed a signature shoe deal and merchandising deals. In 2015, his first sneakers were dropped known as the Under Armour Curry 1, and since then, Curry's become the face of this corporation. And that's leaving out his most recent $250 million deal that runs through 2024. He's even created his own sub-brand named Curry Brand. That's pretty darn famous and earns him a whole lot of money. Not close to $1 billion, we're sure, but something that adds to his $160 million net worth. Sure, it sounds like things have always gone well for him and he's just been making money with every breath he takes, but things haven't been entirely smooth for him with the Davidson product and Under Armour. Sullivan has brought us some more news and he's reported that there was significant friction between Curry and Under Armour founder Kevin Plank. Secondly, business over politics. This brings us to the second part of our video. Are you confused by that revelation? If things aren't good between the founder and Curry, how did Curry land a $1 billion deal? Let's not forget the more than part. Curry said that there wasn't quite an understanding of what it took to run a business like that properly, and he got mad. More information from Sullivan surfaced that told us that Curry had an issue with Plank's support of President Donald Trump. So things did take quite a political turn for Curry and his business dealings, and we appreciate him for standing up for his beliefs and refusing to back down just for more money. Plank had called Trump an asset to the United States of America, and that'd been enough to make Curry consider leaving the company back in 2018. But that didn't happen because the two had some discussions as well as Curry was allowed to launch his Curry brand, and things since then have been running smoothly. It's quite funny to think how the discussion would have gone down. Imagine Curry schooling Plank for having bigoted views and supporting someone who had no respect for minorities and was probably one of the most controversial American politicians. And Plank refused to back down. Curry pulled out the "give me permission to launch my own brand and I'll learn to tolerate your political views." Sounds like it's a very fun discussion. Next up, Curry's reputation. And of course, Steph Curry's presence alone should be enough to silence people no matter what they are a CEO of. Curry takes pride in that because he said that after the whole Plank situation, "I don't have to raise my voice to get mad." That's the best part about it. That means his big name and reputation speaks for themselves. To be very honest, it makes all the sense in the world that Plank and Curry came to a resolution. Plank knows that Curry's name attached to their brand is a huge plus and brings more clientele and more money. Curry knows that having such deals is going to make him richer than anyone has ever thought of. And come on, is Donald Trump the hill Plank would want to die on? We don't think so. Last of all, the philanthropist. As we told you, Curry's current contract with Under Armour runs through 2024, but is expected to change as he'll likely become a lifelong partner with the company. Imagine having all that money and also knowing what to do with it, because Curry has already unveiled his plans. In 2020, the three-point shooting beast launched Curry under the UA umbrella. The brand's goal was to be a purpose-led performance brand with a mission to ensure every young person has equitable access to sport. Turns out the whole plan behind all his launches has been to give back to undeserved communities. Curry said that through the community work he's done with Under Armour for over a decade, he's learned that talent is everywhere, but opportunity is not. And all of them involved and working together are dedicated to creating a more equal playing field that closes the gaps between talent and opportunity. And through Curry Brand, as well as with the work of his wife, Aisha, and his own foundation, Eat, Learn, Play, and not to forget new upcoming lifetime deal, he now has a long-term plan to continue addressing the obstacles to sport that time and again obstruct and limit a child's potential for greatness. Now that we know what a business giant Curry really is, let's move on and look into some other NBA news. Let's move on to the other news. We start off with San Antonio Spurs remain interested in a possible trade for Russell Westbrook. Trading is a big part of the game, and the San Antonio Spurs remain open to getting Russell Westbrook from the Los Angeles Lakers days before training camp begins. This would be big news, but we know that the Spurs are among the top possible trade partners. But what is pretty huge is that they aren't backing off. It's no secret that the Spurs are one of the teams that are in the transformation phase in the NBA, entering the 2022-23 season. In the offseason earlier, the Spurs were in very serious talks with the Lakers about Westbrook's hefty contract in exchange for draft compensation. But now all that trading talk has stalled after LA found better possible trading partners and the Indiana Pacers. Los Angeles hoped that a possible trade with the Brooklyn Nets would happen by trading for Kyrie Irving, but now those whispers have stopped as Irving plans on remaining with the Nets for now. If you didn't know, the Lakers also reached a dead end with the Pacers after Indiana asked for other additions. So if the Lakers are unable to come to a trade agreement with Jazz or Pacers, the Spurs will remain to be a contingency plan to consider. Moving toward suspended Robert Sarver says he's decided to sell Suns. Controversy about controversy. Robert Sarver's been facing the heat from all ends after he was found to have used racial slurs on at least 5 different occasions, and now the NBA franchise Phoenix Suns will be sold to new owners. Sarver had also previously parted ways with the team. This news comes a week after Sarver was suspended for a year and fined $10 million by the league after an investigation found that he'd been involved in inappropriate behavior toward female employees that also included related comments and rude remarks on female employees' appearances. Let's not forget the racial slur thing. After he'd been banned, he released a statement saying that being a man of faith, he believes in atonement and the path to forgiveness. But in their current unforgiving climate, it's become painfully clear that this isn't possible any longer. He continued to say that whatever good he'd done or could still do is outweighed by the things that he'd done in the past. It's very possible that he really does feel ashamed of whatever he's done and wants to do better now. Or maybe the statement is a cliche like all other public figures' apologies. Whatever the truth is, we know that the NBA isn't very quick to forgive. Lastly, Celtics coach Ime Udoka faces possible suspension, bringing some more controversies your way. Ime Udoka, the coach of the Boston Celtics, apparently had a relationship with a female employee inside the organization that was deemed as improper, intimate, and consensual, and the relationship very much violated the organization's code of conduct. ESPN reported that Udoka could face disciplinary action with a hefty suspension for an unnamed violation of organization's guidelines. So it turns out he's going to be facing these charges not because of the issue with his relationship, but something else that we weren't aware of. That report also stated that conversations between the league and the Celtics were taking place to decide the right course of action. There haven't been any details revealed about the possible length of the suspension, but ESPN reported that the suspension is going to happen, no matter what the length. Boston is also handling the situation internally, and Udoka is not facing scrutiny from the league itself. That's it from our side for today. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or thoughts about Steph Curry signing a $1 billion lifetime contract with Under Armour, let us know in the comments below. See you in the next one.